Hello, everybody. Welcome back for another video. Hope you're all doing well. I hope that everyone out there is doing absolutely fantastic and that you are all having a great day. For those of you looking to give the perfect gift to your loved ones or maybe to yourself, Ledger has the gift for you. They offer a very wide range of hardware devices to keep your crypto and your money safe. I myself have been using Ledger for a very long time. They're actually by far one of my favorite companies within the cryptocurrency space. I find their products extremely easy to use. I personally have had other hardware devices and they just don't really cut it, at least for me. While I do not work for Ledger, I am an affiliate, and I have an affiliate link in the description below for those of you looking to keep your crypto and your money safe. And without any further ado, let us jump right into it. The cryptocurrency market, the cryptocurrency news, the cryptocurrency space over the last weeks, I want to say 8 weeks, has really changed. Something has shifted. Really, though, you've seen we have had a tremendous amount of news revolving around stablecoins. I mean, absolutely an egregious amount of news about banks launching stablecoins, companies launching stablecoins, governments launching stablecoins. We've had a lot of news surrounding tokenization, the tokenization of assets, putting real estate on chain, banks putting this on chain, this moving to Ethereum, this moving to XRP. It's been everywhere. Do you remember the third piece of the puzzle that we've been hearing more and more about as of late? Staking. Yes. If you somehow missed the last few months of videos, the idea of staking Bitcoin has been all over the place. At the beginning of this year, we had a healthy dose, around January, of news about companies and Bitcoin developers finding ways to stake Bitcoin or DeFi Bitcoin or do other things with it so that Bitcoin created a yield of some sort. That news kind of disappeared into the air, and then for some reason, end of August, it started popping up everywhere all over again. And it's been like a topic of discussion, and I dare even say fascination within this market as well, as multiple companies are all looking to do the exact same thing, figure out a way to give Bitcoin away, to make a yield, to make passive income for doing absolutely nothing. And they have varying degrees and varying numbers as to what this does. And I forgot, we had one 3 days ago. Yes. It was a company who's trying to use Bitcoin, I think, for DeFi on their ETF or something along those lines. It's something about a cash producing Bitcoin income ETF. And the proposal is using it in a multitude of different ways. So here we are yet again. The future, luckily, looks extremely bright for figuring out ways to make money passively from crypto and more so from Bitcoin, because everyone seemingly has some sort of an answer. This one is called StarkNet. StarkNet is stepping up efforts to attract Bitcoin onto its Layer 2 network. It's rolling out a 100 million STRK incentive program alongside new staking mechanisms in hopes to position the roll-up as Bitcoin's what they call execution layer. The campaign, branded BTC-Fi on Starknet, comes as rival projects Babylon and Botanics, which I don't even remember talking about. I think we've had 6 or 7 recent proposals. Botanics, Botanix. I don't remember saying that because that sounds like a flower. I would have remembered that one. Rival projects Babylon and Botanics pitch their own competing models for putting idle BTC to work. Babylon channels Bitcoin into securing external proof of stake chains, while Botanics earlier this month launched STBTC, a vault, that redistributes half of its gas fees paid in Bitcoin directly to users. I don't remember that at all. Starknet's pitch is different, according to Tom Brand, the company's head of product. Bitcoin stakers will help secure the roll-up itself. Yeah, of course, why not? I got to figure that one out. They said Babylon focuses on staking Bitcoin to secure external proof of stake chains, and Botanics builds an Ethereum virtual machine chain on Bitcoin. Okay. Starknet, by contrast, lets Bitcoin directly secure a real high-throughput ZK rollup with active DeFi and Bitcoin Fi use, so staked Bitcoin underpins real economic activity, not just theoretical security. Okay, that sounds really fancy. For now, however, Starknet is relying on wrapped TBTC, LBTC, and WBTC, and SOLVBTC, rather than native Bitcoin. This is quite common, I would say. Many times, if you wanted to use Bitcoin in DeFi, you often had to wrap it in a protocol to kind of put it to work. So they're still only working with wrapped Bitcoin right now, but I assume original Bitcoin will also be available. This means users gain exposure via smart contracts on Starknet, but custody ultimately depends on the safety of wrapper infrastructure and cross-chain bridges. Right, cool, awesome. So as time goes on, at this point, we're going to have hundreds of these things by the time we get to next spring. The thing that will make these popular, I think Babylon thus far, not affiliated. Babylon thus far is the protocol, I think, that doesn't require actually staking. I think you simply have it on a crypto exchange and you get passive income from it. It's not, custodied. Usually you have to lock your coins into a chain or into a crypto exchange and then that kind of whatever. I think Babylon is the first one that we've heard thus far that you kind of just put it there and it makes money for you. So when someone else figures out a protocol that is easy peasy, that you can do on your phone and you don't have to wrap it and then put it into this and you have to put it into that roll up and then you have to activate it into this and then you have to find a DeFi protocol, that's the one that's going to take off. And once again, once Binance and once Coinbase announce, hey, you can stake your Bitcoin, whatever protocol that is, that's going to take off. Yeah, this is getting a bit intense now, but it does make sense. I have told you countless times till I was blue in the face. One of the general ideas about this market has shifted quite quickly. Before, if you were here last year, you remember, hodl, hold on to your coins, it was just this idea of buying and holding Bitcoin and buying and holding these coins. Now the idea of these things making passive income and being able to stake them and putting it onto it has completely changed the way that people are thinking. And it's 2025. By 2028, the idea of having crypto and not staking it, not making passive income is going to be completely bizarre. So yeah, we have a new one on Starknet, which I think Starknet is on top of Ethereum. And then you put your it's a lot. It's a lot going on, but it will be used in some form or fashion. Yeah, this was quite popular news, as you might have imagined. If we can get every 3 days someone announcing a brand new way to make passive income from crypto, people are going to do it. Yeah, that's the Bitcoin passive income news. And yeah, let's move on. Also oh wow, oh my gosh, that's crazy. I would have never assumed that one. Yeah, don't be confused. The companies are also still here. There's a uh, bit of a confusion that for some reason, these companies might be gone. No, these companies who've been buying up huge amounts of crypto are still here. They show no signs of stopping, especially the ones who have gigantic goals of huge amounts of Bitcoin. I assume the other reason why they're accumulating a lot now has to do with these new protocols launching. Yeah, MetaPlanet wants 210,000 Bitcoin. So when they're staking that for a good 1, 2, 3% return, that's going to do a heck of a lot for their company. Japanese investment company, they're called MetaPlanet, has acquired an additional 5,268 Bitcoin, worth around 600 million US dollars. This is also, random side note, this is one of the very few times that they purchased Bitcoin and didn't make some kind of a numbered statement. MetaPlanet has always purchased 1,234 Bitcoin, 1234, or 8,888 Bitcoin, 8888, or 888, or 1,100. It's always been something. I assume at this point, the way that the market is moving, they're probably just desperate to get whatever they can, and I guess they got tired of their numbered shenanigans. So they bought 5,268 Bitcoin. Has no significance. I was really shocked. I was like, oh my gosh, that's a real number. MetaPlanet announced on Wednesday that its latest purchase has brought its total Bitcoin holdings to 30,823. Yeah, see, another normal number. That's what happens when you're just desperate to get more as opposed to, dancing in the streets with a number. The move catapulted the Tokyo-listed company to the 4th spot among corporate Bitcoin holders, overtaking the Bitcoin Standard Treasury Company. These people got to get it together. We had news a couple days ago. There's a company in Japan that makes kimonos, and they're now not making fabric anymore. They're now just going to be buying Bitcoin. They're calling themselves Bitcoin Japan, and I was like, that's terrible branding, because anyone Googling Bitcoin in Japan will not be able to find your company. And then they're also making a subsidiary of Bitcoin Japan for the United States, and I think it's called Bitcoin Japan Company. It just doesn't... There's so many words. This isn't to belittle anyone, and I understand if English is your second or third language, but you gotta get it together and understand. There's a multitude of words in English, even new things that you can put together. The Bitcoin Standard Treasury Company is... You gotta have a little bit more flair. It has to be something. It could have even been Black Bitcoin Rock. I don't know, just something that stands out when people are searching it on Google. You need to make sure, this is for anyone out there, if you are making a company, don't call it Fabric. Don't just call it Lollipop. It has to have a really catchy name that people are going to remember, and that when you Google it, it actually comes up in the searches. Oh boy. What was the other one? There is another company, I think it's just called Bitcoin Treasury. There's another one called Bitcoin Strategy. What are those French companies called? There's two companies, I think they're both in France, and they both announced equally that they were going to be accumulating Bitcoin. And I was like, oh my gosh, I was like, you couldn't think of any other names, just the most basic standard things. You know what this also is? So many of you were I assume, around in the 90s, whether it be early 90s, mid 90s, or late 90s. Have you ever tried looking for like an old TV show from the 90s that had like one name or even just like, two names? It's quite difficult because no one in the 90s was thinking of like, how is someone going to search me or find me in 2025 on the internet? It was just show name. Some of these things are so difficult to like find episodes of them because they weren't thinking about like future marketing. We have the internet. Bitcoin company, Bitcoin strategy, Bitcoin standard treasury company. Well, oh gosh, what was the other one? There was some other one recently. They also had like such a basic name, and I was like, what in the world? Like no one sitting in the room. If you're gonna rebrand your company from making fabrics and dresses, you got, oh boy, okay. Bitcoin Treasuries, which is a website. Data shows that the company's Bitcoin strategy, has already generated an unrealized profit of over 7.5%. And there's a little tweet for it right there. Yeah. Who would have guessed that the companies who said that they wanted to buy enormous amounts of Bitcoin are still buying enormous amounts of Bitcoin? I would have never thought so. That just doesn't seem to be a thing. As we move forward into this world of everyone wanting to stake their crypto and tokenize these things. If you missed the last video that I made, go have a look. It revolved around tokenization. And if you just sucked your teeth or you think that's not interesting, I wish you the best of luck in the future. Tokenization is going to it is going to make people disgustingly wealthy. It is completely insane what's happening. I think the weirdest part of all of this, and I mean, sometimes I know that we're in a bubble. I know that we, me, you, I, us, we are in a crypto bubble. It happens. It's the same exact way there are people who like collect watches. Like that's their thing. They're also in that kind of bubble. No one's talking about like the internet or DeFi on watches. No one's talking about the watch that you have on your arm making you passive income. There aren't companies who are like, hey, I like watches. Let's buy up 30,823 watches. All this stuff happening in this space is leading to something massive. I understand the annoyance when people in crypto don't pay attention to this news is already like disgustingly staggering. People outside the market, they're not even missing out. Like this is never going to happen again. The people who are buying up all this Bitcoin aren't going to be like, wait. Billions of people don't have crypto? No, guys. Let's give away our crypto for free to the billions of people who didn't pay attention for 25 years. Like the hoarding of wealth and the idea of these protocols making you extra money that fuels your life that you can do whatever you want with, or even you being able to use that passive income to buy other assets that then also produce income. You know how rich people are going to be in this market? Do you understand? This was a couple of weeks ago, whenever we had that weird like 2-day dip in price, whatever happened. And I remember once again, I saw my views drop, and this is how I knew. I didn't even have to look at the market. I was like, okay, prices have gone down. And I was like, people's attention spans to like wanting to be rich is so thin. You say you want to become rich. You say you want to become wealthy. Prices go down by 4% and you immediately stop being in the market. You sell your coins. You stop watching news. Like think about that. It's so insane. So a lot of you are going to do just fine. That's the way that I'll say it. Those of you who continue to pay attention, who are continuing to buy crypto in the background all the time, who are making sure that you really, have a stronghold, foothold, something, you're holding on to something in this market, you're going to do absolutely fine. Everyone else who was like a fair weather investor, boy, howdy, buckle up, because the next couple of years are going to be terrible for people who don't have assets. Inflation numbers are insane and they're only going to get worse. So I sincerely wish the best to everyone out there, but I know a lot of you have mentioned before, or you told me in comments, or you sent me stuff on Patreon about how, how well you're doing, how much money you made. I think one or two of you told me that you made enough money, you bought homes and stuff like that. No, like, you deserve a literal, like, standing ovation for what you've done. You paid attention, you made money, you made it. I sincerely hope that everyone else makes it as well. I sincerely hope that you are all having a great day, morning, afternoon, evening, wherever you are, wherever the heck you might be. I do hope it is absolutely fantastic. Thank you all once again for watching, listening, liking, commenting, and supporting. And I will most certainly be talking to you all soon. See you.